we doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I am doing a patch notes video for the 5th of February 2020 for both Xbox and PlayStation 4. I am going to try and go into some depth in some areas and skip a few other parts of this patch note that I don't think is too important, because I don't want this video to be too long, and this video is going to be a little bit longer because this is a very significant patch that's hitting us. The most significant part of this patch, for anyone that knows anything about this patch, is the fact that the monsters in general are getting nerfed 40% across all regions. I will be going more in depth at the end of the video. I'm going to put a timestamp right now to tell you guys where to skip to if that's the only part of this video you're interested in, is my opinion on these changes. And this opinion will definitely change over time because I have to actually play it. This is my opinion without playing it. I will give you my opinion after playing it in time, when I think I'm ready to give an opinion of a certain grind zone, of all grind zones in general. I will definitely be making that video. But I'm going to try and go through this as quick as possible. So the awakening for the Kunoichi is now finally out on Xbox, which is great. And PS4 gets the class with the awakening, so good for them. They don't have to go through the struggle that the Kunoichis on Xbox had to go through of not having that awakening available for so long. Book changes. They've added a new item to the central market. It's going to be called the Secret Book of Old Moon. This new item gives you 100% combat EXP, 50% skill EXP, 50% life EXP. It allows you to reset your skills freely, so that's really good. It allows you to change your skill add-ons freely without having to pay memory fragments if you want to do it the old method, which is great. And it also allows you to activate your villas without buying villa buffs. You're saving 10 mil a week. Fantastic. Stable slots, +1 for all regions, so you can add one more horse to any of the stables that you have. Wharf slots, so you can add one more boat to all the wharf slots that you have in all regions. If you're into those things, that's great for you. I think majority of the player base aren't into these two last sections here. So for the majority of the people, this isn't going to affect them, but everything else is fantastic. And for the people that this does affect, extra bonus for you. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible. So what they've done is they've combined the Sealed Book of Combat, Armstrong's Skill Guide, and Cliff Add-on Guide to create this new book. However, these items are all still in the game. You can get these things all separately from the Pearl Shop, and for like the Book of Combat, I don't know about the other ones, but I know Book of Combat you can get on the Central Market. I don't think you can get these two from the Central Market. I might be wrong, I don't really know. But you can still get these items separately if you want to, and this stacks. So this new book stacks with the old Sealed Book of Combat. So you'll be getting 200% EXP, 100% skill EXP, and just 50% life skill EXP, plus all these extra add-ons if you have both books activated at the same time. So it's an extra pay to win item, so there is some things that aren't great about it. But if you do buy these books, let's say like, oh, you have an allowance, you know, every single month you want to buy one of these books, so you buy 2 of these books every single month. Well, instead of buying the old skill Book of Combat, you now definitely want to buy the new one because it's enhanced and it's better. But it's an extra layer of pay to win, so there is definitely a lot of negative arguments that can be made for it. I think it's good for me, but I know it's not great for everyone. So I'm sorry for those people that doesn't benefit. And yeah, it's a little bit scummy and a little bit good at the same time. It's a two-sided coin, this one. There's definitely a lot of arguments that you can make for and against, but I don't want to go too in depth for this video because it'd be far too long. Camisylvia Blessing, this is a good change generally. So this is an item change. It's not a new item like the book that we just talked about. That means if you have a Camisylvia Blessing activated right now, or if you have Camisylvia Blessings in your inventories or in your central markets, they have all now changed to this new version of Camisylvia Blessing, along with the ones that you obviously buy in the Pearl Shop. And as far as I'm aware, it's still 1,500 pearls, or I don't know the pearl price exactly, but it's the same price as it was before, is what they were talking about in the stream. Quickly going back up here, the reason that's 1,500 pearls, this new book is the same price as, so this book here, Secret Book of Old Moon, is the same price as a Sealed Book of Combat. So they're both 1,500 pearls. So at least it's not super expensive to buy. So that's giving a little bit of credit when credit's due, but it's still plenty of arguments you can make there. But this one, generally, it adds more value to this item. So you can argue, well, it's more pay to win. The pay to winners get more benefits. But the only extra benefits you get is these last three here. Energy recovery +2 and item drop rate +20% has not changed. The central market weight capacity, so you can hold more items in the central market, 2,000 extra weight. These are small benefits, but you can definitely argue more pay-to-win benefits for sure, because they are. End of the day, these are more pay-to-win benefits. All your transaction mates get an extra 100 weight. So let's say you got a central market mate, or you got a storage mate, or you have both, right? Usually you can only take 1,000 potatoes out of either your central market or your storage, depending on which one you're taking them from. Now you can take 2,000, so you've doubled the amount of weighted items you can take. This won't affect, like, you can only still take and add one scroll. So if you have a Pilaku scroll, you can't put 100 Pilaku scrolls in the central market. It's still one at a time, including your storage. So it's a small benefit, but it's not, it's a benefit. Storage, you can transport more weight between storages. So let's say you're in Altanova storage and you want to transfer some iron ore to your Velia storage. It used to be 5,000 iron ore you can send. Now, I don't know what the max weight used to be, but now you can send more. So if it's double, if it used to only be 1,500 and they're adding 1,500, that'll make your new limit 3,000. So instead of 5,000 iron ore, you'll be able to send 10,000 iron ore. So yeah, that's nice. Nice little benefit. Not going to go too much more into detail on there. They've taken away Christmas music and they've taken away the snow. Thank God. I don't have the music on in the game anyway, but the snow was causing some lag, so I'm happy they did that. They've increased the value of artisan memories. They have not increased the price on the Pearl Shop as far as I'm aware. That is what they said on the stream. I'm going to take their word on it that the price is still the same. I have not logged into the game yet, so I cannot confirm it, but I'm pretty sure they haven't. What they have done is they've increased the durability recovery from 4 to 5. So what that means, if you have an artisan memory and a memory fragment and you recover a boss gear durability, instead of getting +4 durability, you're now getting +5. So to put it in perspective, before, with no artisan memories, you needed 100 memory fragments to get a boss item. So let's take a dandy. So take a dandy with 0 durability, so 100 durability was 100 memory fragments. With the old artisan memory system, you had to use 25 artisan memories and 25 memory fragments to get from 0 to 100 durability on your dandy. With this new change, you'll need 20 artisan memories and 20 memory fragments to get from 0 durability to 100 durability. So you're saving 5 memory fragments and you're saving 5 artisans per max recovery of a boss item. Monster changes, we will talk at the end. Item changes here, just briefly, in general, I think this is good for the game. I'm going to quickly go over what this is. So they've increased the price, maximum price of everything listed here. Memory fragments, red battlefield crystal of power, red battlefield crimson flame power, black magic crystal Corburnus, Hytria, Carmine, forest wagon wheels, all these different items here. Max price, ability to go to that price is increased. That does not mean the prices are actually going to increase when we get into the game right now. So on Xbox, memory fragments were hovering between 1.2 and 1.5 million, going up and down in this last month because of the memory fragment event. They're still going to be roughly that price when we log back into the game. However, when demand and supply changes, this is what affects your price of stuff in the central market. Anyone that knows anything about economy or central market systems understands this. But the very basic crash course is, if you have a high demand and a low supply of an item, the price is going to go up. If you have a high supply and a low demand of the item, the price is going to go down. Let's say if the demand is the same, but the supply increases, again, the price is going to go down. Demand is the same, supply decreases, price is going to go up, and vice versa. Hopefully you guys understand that. But basically, I think in general, this is good for the game to reduce the restrictions on these prices, because this is going to allow people to make more money off these items, and it's going to allow more people who are going to be making these items. You know, there's more incentive to make wagon wheels, there's more incentive to make these black magic crystals, there's more incentive to do these life skills if people are interested in buying them, because if the demand is there, the price will increase, allowing more money to be moved around in the central market. So for the general economy, if the demand is there, this is going to be good. If the demand isn't there, this will just increase the supply, and the price is actually going to decrease. We'll have to see what happens. But generally, there's more potential for things to be better for the economy with this change. General strokes. I'm not going to go too in depth besides what I've already done there. If you want to talk to me more about it, message me and I can go into more detail on those things, because I do study economy and I do study accounting, so I have a very general understanding of these items. But anyway, I'm taking too much time on these things. I'm trying to be as quick as possible. So, Marni stones. They've added 5 new Marni stones for 5 new areas. That's fantastic. In my opinion, it adds value. Anything that adds value to grind areas, I like. This does add value. So, Crescent Shrine, Basilisk, and Pillar Coup is both for PS4 and Xbox. These 3 areas now have Marni stones available, so you can get extra EXP grinding these areas. And for Xbox specifically, because PlayStation 4 doesn't have Kama Sylvia yet, we get Marni stones for also Mansions and Nirvana Steeps. Great, adds more values to these areas, allows people to catch up faster and make a bit more silver. If they want to have, they're like, I want more silver, but I still want EXP. This gives them more incentive to go to these areas. It spreads people out more, it adds more people to these grind zones. It's healthy for the game. Also giving people more opportunities to catch up in EXP, catch up in silver, catch up in gains. I think, personally, my personal opinion, the more PA helps newcomers and people that are coming back to the game after either rouletting or quitting, allowing them to catch up to, I don't want to say veteran, but people that have been playing the game for a longer period of time and have hit soft cap and have gone beyond soft cap. PA helping them to catch up to us faster is generally, for not only the marketplace, but just the game in general, for all players, including people like myself that are really far ahead, it's good. There's more competition, there's more PvP, more guilds are getting filled up, more people are playing, more items going in the central market, more items being bought off the central market, more money flowing. It's good for everyone. So anyone that's like, oh, you know what, it's not fair that PA is holding these guys' hands, these new players, they don't have to go through what I went through when I played this game, when I had to grind sourcens for all these hours. It's not fair. Well, quite frankly, you're wrong. It's good. It might not be fair, but some things that aren't fair are still good. It's good for the game. So I shouldn't say you're wrong. That's pretty toxic, but I don't think that is the right way of looking at it. I think you should look at it at a different point of view. And I'm getting sidetracked again. So let's go to quest changes and let's skip quest changes. This honestly isn't going to affect a lot of people. This is pretty fluff. If you're interested in it, read it. Not going to affect a lot of people. This is going to affect a lot of people. People that don't play Wizard are going to be pretty upset. People that play Wizard are going to be really happy. Wizards, I'm going to tell you right now, Wizards are actually really, 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 really easy to kill if you know how to fight the class. So, and Wizards are really not as good as Witches for PvP. One of the reasons for that is Aquagel is known in the BDO community as Toilet Bowl because it's a trash skill that takes a very long time, and any class with a grab with half a brain is going to grab you when you do Aquagel. Well, now the animation's faster, they got less opportunity to grab you, reduces that window for them to be able to punish your Aquagel or do super armors into your back because you're stuck in the animation when you cast Aquagel. So that's really going to help the Wizard class in terms of PvP. And they've added a movement speed slow to Aquagel to then punish the enemy more that's getting hit by this skill. Because now what that means is if you want to disengage with your teleport, it's harder for them to close the gap. And if you want to kill them, it's harder for them to create a gap so you can chase them down easier. So this skill is actually a lot more useful now. They've also increased the damage on it, so it does more damage, and they've added down attacks. So it actually can be used when you down someone, because usually if you get a CC, you don't activate Aquagel because it takes too long. So you can't extend a CC. After you activate Aquagel, they're going to stand up during that animation. So now that the animation is reduced and it does down attack damage and it does movement speed debuffs, it actually might be able to be implemented in some combos. Further testing is going to be required. I'm spending a bit more time on this section because I know Wizard like the back of my hand and I know the class very well. So that's the effects of Aquagel. Maybe it'll no longer be known as Toilet Bowl, so we'll see. So yeah, increased damage as well. I think I already talked about that. So Cataclysm, I think this is a typo. I just read this earlier on before doing this video, but this is BSR Aquagel, which basically means Black Spirit Rage. Sorry, not actual. Cataclysm is increased range. Regular Cataclysm on PC doesn't have increase to its maximum range. It's just the BSR, and quickly what that means is it's something we don't have on console, Xbox or PS4 yet, but PC people do. They have BSR moves, which means specific moves they're able to take from their Black Spirit Rage bar a certain percentage and infuse it into the skill. So when they activate the skill, it has added effects, which is usually more damage, is the added effect of BSRing that skill. So I don't remember the exact percentage, but just for the purposes of the video, let's say it's 20 or 30%, 30%, right? So on not PlayStation, on PC, a wizard is able to take 30% of its Black Spirit Rage, so away from its ult, infuse when they activate their Hellfire, and that Hellfire will do more damage, and now for them it also has more range. But the regular Hellfire doesn't, so I'm pretty sure if I'm wrong, and the regular Hellfire does have more damage, then this is a crazy buff, but I'm 99.99999% sure that this is a PC thing and we don't have to worry about this on console for now. We can talk about this in the future when we do get BSR moves. Hellfire getting forward guard. Oh my god, this is really, really fantastic for wizards. Like, this is huge, especially with now being able to hold X to hold the Hellfire, which activates the forward guard. It allows a lot of outplaying of the opponent. So it's, think of it as like a lingering super armor, right? But it's before you do the super armor. So now you can forward guard, you stand in place, scout your PvP environment, and decide what your next move is. Do you want to Hellfire into them? Do you want to hold it, cancel it, use your teleport, get behind them, do a different CC? There's a lot of options this is going to allow, and it's actually going to finally allow you to use Hellfire in PvP. An added item they've added. So after Hellfire, your Flame Knot, which is your grab, can now be activated faster. So there's two instances you can use this. There's one instance you don't want to use it, and there's one instance you do want to use it. So I'll try and keep this brief, but Hellfire, if you Hellfire into someone and you CC them, you don't want to grab them. A combo that I would recommend doing, so let's say you Hellfire, you land your CC, you're going to do multiple magic arrow, fireball explosion into, you can either switch back to Awakening and do Cataclysm, or you can do the Water Sphere and the Flow, depending on what you have off cooldown. But that's just a basic combo I'd recommend doing. After that, you don't want to grab them because that's going to go add as a CC. It's going to take away, it's not going to do a lot of damage, and you're not going to be able to have an extended CC if you're basically wasting your grab if you grab them after CCing them. But let's say you Hellfire into someone that's in a super armor, right? You Hellfire a striker that just on a Rage Hammer. So you forward guard his CC, and he's lingering his Rage Hammer. You can now grab him really, really quickly. So it's going to allow you to grab people that are classes that have a lot of super armor. It's going to be really effective against witches. It's like one of the main ones that I can think of. They're doing, they do their LTB, and you just Hellfire into the LTB. So you forward guard most, if not all of the damage, and then you grab them straight after. So fantastic. Really, really good change right there. Fixed an issue. Okay, so it's a little mini fix, not too important. They've taken, obviously, so to add Hellfire, forward guard and Hellfire, they've taken away from Chilling Wave. Chilling Wave forward guard was always very bad, very inconsistent. It had a lot of 3 holes in the front of Chilling Wave where you can get CC'd from the front, from your forward guard. It was a really bad forward guard. So Chilling Wave is now useless. It was pretty useless in most scenarios before. It had some uses, but now just don't use this move in PvP anymore, unless you're trying to meme or BM someone. And this is just some text changes. It doesn't actually change anything in the game. Just some stuff they forgot to mention. Reduce PvP damage in these flows, which there's been no changes. This is again just text changes. Reduce PvP damage in their flow. And Mystic, they just fixed an issue where they're getting Air Smash activated in all combos with Hurricane hits. So that's been done, and they've also changed, well, there was an issue with the last hit on Rapid Stream. It used to cause a knockdown instead of a floating, so now it causes a floating instead of a knockdown. So there's some changes. I'm not a Mystic, so I can't go too in depth, but in my opinion, knockdowns are better than floats for the reason of your opponent can't V. But if you got obviously air attack modifiers, floats are then better than knockdowns. It's a juggling act. I prefer knockdowns because people can't V, but that's up to you. UI changes. I know they said something on this, like there's some changes for the pet UI and some other UIs. You'll see that when you get into the game. So if you want to read more about it, you can just read it here in the UI changes. Other changes, this is not very important either, so I'm going to skip this. If you're interested, again, pause the video right here and just give it a read, but it's not that important. It's not very big. But what is very big, so let's talk about this right now, is monster changes. So, for monsters, they have decreased the number of monsters in the entire map by around 40%. I don't know how I feel about this yet, because I need to test it. Now, if you are a party group grinder, this does not affect you at all if all you do is party grinding in Mirrormark. Or Gyphons, but I don't think anyone really does Gyphons. But Gyphons and Mirrormark have not been touched by this change. So cool. Those guys, they're not affected. But a lot of people, even people that grind those areas, do grind other areas too. So pretty much everyone is going to get affected by this. The reason they've done this is to decrease those little stutters that if you watch my streams, I complain about a lot, the little stutters, freeze screens, increase the performance of the game. If this increases the performance of the game, I like the fact that the game would run smoother, but I don't know how it's going to affect grind zones. I'm going to give you a few ideas without playing the game now, what I think it can do, and then I'll go more in depth what it actually is doing. Once I've played it a bit more, I've talked to some friends about some grind zones, and I'll go into specific areas like Hytria. I'm going to really go in depth on that, but that's going to be later on. So this is what I think is going to happen. So let's talk about Hytria specifically, because this one I have more, I know Hytria very well, like the back of my hand. Now, if in Hytria they've reduced Eltons, Tankos, Kalkishas, and Vodkins from grind spots, this is going to lead to less chances when you're grinding of getting Tongrad necklaces, black shards, and red shards, and certain black magic crystals, along with the Peeler scrolls, because those mobs, from what I've noticed, just seem to have more chance of dropping Peeler scrolls compared to the as I know like the back of my hand. The little testicles is what I'm used to calling them. The round mobs in Hytria. I can't remember their names exactly, so apologies there. But basically, if they've reduced those in Hytria, there's less chances of these items when you're grinding of you getting these items, which in turn means there's going to be less of these items hitting the market, which could mean there's going to be an increase of the price of these items. I don't know until I get it, but that's if they've taken individual mobs out of packs, right? However, if they've taken packs out of rooms, it's a different story. What that's going to mean, this might not actually affect us because they've increased, apparently they've increased the respawn rate by double the amount. So let's say they've just taken a pack out, right? There's one pack missing. That shouldn't affect your trash per hour too much. It might even increase your trash per hour if there's one less pack but they're respawning twice as fast. You might actually get more trash per hour because you don't have to leave that room that you're in and extend your rotation if you have higher AP. If you have lower AP, I still don't think it's going to affect you either way, because unless there's a huge gap, let's say from mob A, there's mob B and there's mob C. If mob B is missing and you have to go from mob A to mob C and that distance is very large, then that might reduce your trash by a little bit. However, also another thing to keep in consideration, if they've taken entire mobs out, is which pack did they remove? If it's a pack with an Elton in it, that's huge. Eltons are the most important mobs in Hytria. So if they've taken Eltons out of Hytria, that's going to reduce the chance of you getting the hardest compass part in the game, which is really bad. It's going to really reduce the number of Tongrad necklaces you see. just removing one Elton from a rotation is really going to impact the number of tongue rad necklaces, especially that you're going to get. So I'm hoping no Eltons have been taken out. The next most important one is Tankos. So if they've taken the group out that doesn't have, let's say that you're in a room, all the Eltons are still in that room, all the mobs with Eltons are still there, but the mob with a Tanko isn't there, that's still going to affect the number of black shots and tongue rad necks that you can get, because the Tanko can drop both. But it's not as bad as the Elton. The Elton's the only one that I'm really worried about. Another one is if they have reduced, so that's just if they've taken a whole mob out. But going quickly back to the previous one, let's say all the packs of mobs are exactly the same, but they've removed individual monsters from Hytria. So the pack now has less mobs in it. This is still going to cause less trash, because the way Hytria works is it takes you a decent amount of time to kill a pack. So if instead of 10 monsters being in that pack, which is the limit of how many monsters you can kill at a time, there is now 9 monsters or 8 monsters, that's not going to change how fast you're killing that pack. Generally, you're still going to kill a pack of 8 the same speed you're going to kill a pack of 10. So that means you spent the same amount of time killing that pack of mobs for you to get less trash. And if there's important particular monsters missing from that pack, let's say it's one less Kalkisha, you've killed that pack, you're getting less trash, and you have a less chance of getting a black shard. If it's an Elton, we've already talked about it, huge problem right there. If it's a Vodkan, less chance of getting a red shard, less chance of getting the Vodkan compass piece, less chance of getting a Pila scroll, less chance of getting precision crystal, and if it's a Tanko, less chance of getting black shard and tongue rad neck and Pila scroll. So it's still a problem. If in Hytria the only mobs they've taken out is your transition mobs, so what I mean by that is, let's say you're at the node manager, you're going towards your grind spot. There is a lot of random mobs between you and the grind spot that the grind spots that are worth grinding. If they've taken those ones out, it's not going to affect the majority of the people that know how to grind Hytria. Now, that's Hytria out the way. Arkmans is the next one I'm going to talk about. I've got a good amount of experience with Arkmans. I know how to grind the areas, and I've had quite a few hours grinding there in the past, but not recently. So there are a lot of different rooms in Arkmans, and different rooms are going to get affected differently depending on how these changes get applied to those rooms. Rooms that are smaller, that are like, let's say the very top room in Arkmans, that a lot of people like to grind. I like to grind there as well because it doesn't have those claws that come out the ground. Like rooms like that are probably not going to feel any different with, even if there's less packs or if there's less individual monsters in a pack. Because of how dense that room is, it's not really going to get affected at all, in my opinion, by this change. So if you're in Arkmans in a small, really condensed room that now has increased respawn rates, it actually might work in your favor as well. If you have a lot of AP, but if you don't have a lot of AP, it's probably going to be very hard for you to grind those rooms. There's going to be too many mobs trying to kill you. And there's going to be, so if you don't have a lot of AP, it might impact you negatively with these increased respawn rates. But if you do have AP to kill them at a good rate, let's say you're getting 5,000 plus trash an hour of the loot scroll, that's what I consider good AP. 4,500 maybe as well, I can argue 4,500 plus, but 5,000 plus, I can say if you've got good AP to be clearing Arkmans very efficiently. At those APs, small rooms, in my opinion, are now going to become stronger. I might be wrong, but this is just how I'm telling you guys why I think this is. Now, the more spread out rooms that have packs of mobs are probably going to become weaker. Especially if a pack's missing, there's going to be, like I said, mob A to mob B to mob C. If it's like Hytria again, where the distance between mob A and C is greater, especially for less mobile classes, you might see yourself getting a little bit less money, trash per hour, and again, that also means less chance of getting these black shards and tongue rad earrings. So that has different effects for your money and different effects for the central market as well. Sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes getting less of these items means the prices of these, the supply of the item, everyone's getting less, right? So there's less supply of these items on the central market. For you as a seller, that actually could be a good thing. So even though you're getting less of the item, if it's worth more, let's say it's hard, you're getting 30% less drops, but the price is doubled, it's actually better for you. So there's a lot of variables that are unknown until we see what impact it actually has on the marketplace. So I'm trying to reserve judgment for now. I'm just, in terms of what you're getting is what I'm going to try and focus on. So let me try and get back. I'm sidetracking here, I apologize. But this is pretty important, and a lot of people are going to have questions, and I'd really like to have this discussion with you guys as well. Let me know what your opinions are in the comment section. If you want to talk about it, I'll put my Discord in this just underneath the video as well, so you can contact me in Discord. We can have a discussion about it. But the bigger rooms that have spread out packs in Archmans, I think has more potential to get negatively impacted by this nerf. The smaller rooms might actually be buffed because of this, in quotations, nerf. This change, let's say. This change might actually buff smaller rooms in Archmans and nerf the bigger ones. So that's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I will be playtesting Hytria and Archmans specifically. I am not, unless there's a lot of people that want me to, and if I have the time, because I'm very restricted in time right now, I will try some other grind zones out if the demand is there. I don't know how this is going to affect low-end grind zones. That's a harder, because low-end grind zones, you're one-shotting mobs. But let's say, again, there's a pack of 10. You're one-shotting these 10 mobs, and you move into the next pack. You might get less EXP and less Marni stones. However, you probably won't get less trash or money. Because even if with tier 4 pets, 5 tier 4 pets, you're not picking up all the trash for the monsters that you're killing, right? So, I don't think we're going to see, unless it's a huge nerf, unless it's like, there's like half the monsters are missing from every single pack, then there's going to be a problem. But because of the wording, they said around 40%, not all areas affected the same. Maybe all the grass beetles are gone. So that means 20% of this 40% is grass beetles. So it's not going to be as relevant for the low-end grind zones. They're not going to, and high-end grind zones, there's not that many mobs missing. We will see. But just, I mean, let's be honest. If you're grinding efficiently, you one-shot packs, you're not picking up all the trash. So I don't think the money values for low-end grind zones is going to be impacted that much. But I could be wrong. But what I will be impacted, if there's monsters missing from a pack, you're one-shotting 8 instead of 10 monsters, you're getting less Marni Stone Village and less EXP from that pack. But if it's mobs, so there's pack A, pack B, and pack C. If pack B is missing, in most low-end grind zones, the density, depending on the grind zone, is pretty decent. So it's not really going to affect if an actual pack has been taken out and the extension, the distance between pack A, so if pack B has been taken out and the distance between pack A and pack C is not that much, then it's not going to affect you. But if there is a long travel distance, then it is going to affect your money per hour. So those are my thoughts of monster changes. I will be doing an updated guide, and I'll be going more in depth for Hytria first, Archman second, and depending on my time, what I'm doing with the channel and the demand, I might do other grind zone changes as well. That's up to you guys, and it's up to what kind of time I've got available. So please let me know if you want to do that. I'm sorry if this is a very long video. It's over half an hour, but I think it's an important discussion to have. I hope I've given you guys some insight. Any information that I've given you has been helpful. If it has been helpful, any likes that you can leave for me is going to help the channel. If you share it with other people, share it in your Discords. If you see your Discords having a lot of discussions about this monster videos and you want them to see my opinion of it, share it in your Discord as well. It will help me out. It might help the conversation in your Discords out. I don't really know. This is just my idea, but I have played the game for a long time. So maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Time will tell. More videos are coming. I'm going to end the video. I'm going to end this now because it's taking too long. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.